Hello Blender folks, here we go again. So this time I still have this character that I eternally rigging. No, now it's getting faster. So there are a lot of things to do and I'm using it to learn and make more experiments and all that. So this time it's about automation of these pole targets, and in the video description I've put some link of a tutorial that exists already about 3 years already, and that is a very good tutorial on some way to automate these things, because the way I was doing that I do not have here to present, but it used something like transform bound constraints, but it's difficult. There are easier ways, actually much simpler ways and better ways. So according to that tutorial, I'm not copying it. I'm taking reference from it. It's very good ideas there, but I'm gonna make something different. So first thing, let's see okay, so these are the poll targets. Okay, so I'll start. I'm also making those lives shorter by segmenting the experiment, the work I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it like in tiny bits. So for example, here it's just, I hope, just about this process. And so this is a bit experimental because I've never done this way, and I'm creating on top of that idea. So I'm tweaking it, right? So I cannot explain what, and I'm not gonna show the tutorial. You can watch yourself. It's not very short tutorial, but the main part of it is about IK bound constraint in general, but it solves that at some point, and it's not very long. So what I'll make here, this will be some sort of referencing bone for this is a very interesting strategy on rigging. Sometimes we can use mechanical bones that will be like that, or I think they would even deserve a different naming, like something category, like they are spatial referencing bones. They serve to mark spaces. Okay, so but I'll call it just a mech bone, and this will be for pole, knee pole, whatever, something like that. Mech knee pole. Oh yes, I could do something like, yeah, it's a mapping bone. So whatever, mech knee pole map. That is good. Okay, and then for the bone roll, it doesn't really matter. What I can do is just align this bone roll with that one. Let me see. I recalculate roll, active bone. No, I think this is not exactly what I. Yes, that's the opposite. So I want. This is. Okay, so it has the same bone roll as this one. It should be the case. What I did here, not sure. Never used this deform option. Okay, let's see. So what's the? Yeah, okay, it's not identical, but in spatially it should be. This is hard to. Yeah, it must be some sort of alignment. It's hard to verify it exactly. but I did the operator. Okay, so then the parenting for this, since it's just a referencing bone, it should be okay to have parent to this one, to the type bone here. And then also, although it's skip offset, maybe this is not a there's a bendy bone right before it, which could be a better parent. Let's leave it like that. This is maybe more organized this way. So, and here I want to add a stretch to bone constraint towards the tail of this bone. So I need to go on pose mode, and now of course I need to show these deformed bones. Let's see. Okay, for this tutorial should be not tutorial, sorry, I should be, yeah, I just need this one, maybe that one. Okay, and then let's go back here. Now where's this? I'll put it to that test layer. What bone is that? I don't remember when did, what is the, oh yeah, that's for another thing, doesn't, unfinished thing, something about the spine rig that I wanted to give it a Nike inverse kinematics to the head, controlling the spine inversely. There are probably different ways to do that. There's a future task. I want to achieve it with bendy bones, and so maybe all this contraption here is not gonna be useful, because with bendy bones I know another tutorial where we make, the idea is to make a, well, never mind. it's to make a larger spline that has some sort of automation control towards the minor splines. So it's a very interesting concept, but a bit complicated. It's more like advanced bendy bone rigging. That tutorial was some sort of, it's a goose neck. The tutorial about it's not very recent, but it's interesting. And then I remembered maybe that could serve for that solution. And okay, and what I was attempting here was actually to get a mechanical chain, F-key chain, so that it could itself has I-key bone constraint, and then perhaps it could drag the splines along with, but it's a bit complicated, right? Okay, let's go back to the thing. Where is my test bone? Here. Okay. So why it is going so far? Well, I have some keyframes here. Yes, why it is going there? Oh, because, okay, it's not moving. So it needs the stretch to bone constraint to the tail, and I reset this, and there we go. And so all this, I don't know, this yeah, that's just it, just what I need. So you see, it does more or less what the tutorial I was talking about, not the goose one, the pole target automation one. So, except I'm doing this with just one bone. I'm not sure it will work, but I can map the middle, and since this bone has this stretch and squash, it's not a deformed bone. Oh, it is okay, but we took that off, and what I want here, oh, I forgot this thing, so I could already symmetrize this, why not? But I don't want to see it. Then what I need to do here is that, well, the problem is that I have two nipple targets because there are two ikebone constraints. So this, I'm not sure yet if I can sort of merge them. Like I had to do two because I was not I have not been able to get the leg rig to work properly if they were matching, if they were the same target. For the elbow rig I did also a similar rig, and it was okay for the elbow, just a single. It would be ideal if I could merge them. We'll see if I can achieve that. So I have a very specific rig for these bones here, but with this other method, which should be much simpler. So let's start with the upper one. The upper one is, it's not that one, it's this one. The upper one, so let's see, let's go on pose mode, edit mode. So the first thing, it gets parented to this. Alright. However, there was some, let's see what happens now. Okay. No, I'm using the wrong controller. Okay, it's being deformed. This is annoying because there's a stretch to bone constraint. It's just a visual effect. So apparently, let's see what's happening. As I go up, you see, the problem is it gets this reference here. And of course, the other thing that this thing has is that yeah, this bone, it has got dump track towards the master foot controller for the I key, and so this would be dump track. So what would that make? Maybe for this setup it won't work. Let's see, why tail, yes, tail, perhaps. Why? Okay, so what does that do? Let's forget about this one for now. Okay, so this is getting distorted, but what this is doing, yeah, when I rotate, yeah, so here we see as I rotate, nothing happens. But with the damped track, the problem this gets displaced. It's visual, but it affects something. So, but on the tutorial, we don't want this rotation to necessarily affect this. We wanted that this damped track already caused this motion without even a rotation of the foot. So this is not a good solution in this case. And so what I think is missing here is because of this parenting might not be the best output, because the parent lacks certain control. I need first to align this bone with the middle of this thing, of the reference one, but I'm not exactly sure how this will gonna work. as it is now, it is working. It's automating some functionalities, so it's not too bad. Wow, actually this is on its own, it's already, or perhaps because this bone is already posed. Yeah, so let's delete these keyframes. Same with these ones. Let's see now. It can't be that good. Well, actually it can't. It can. So this is kinda working. Let's see for the, no, it's not the foot. Alright, it got some issues, and we no, not this one. Okay, so alright, so I'm not sure if the, where is this one? Okay, so you had this parent. I can keep the parent possibly, but I need to add some sort of referencing for the middle. Not that, for example, here maybe it should go up, and maybe I could also get this further away. Maybe this gets better results. Not well for this part, yes. What about for this? Yes, for, alright, but then this is a problem. Oh, yeah, apparently this bone is having some changes too. Of course, it's because this bone also affects this stretching. Okay. So you see the parent links to this, to the tail necessarily. So which kind of bone constraint, or along with the parent, I could do to have this thing match? Maybe a copy location, but which considers local space, so the target will have its own local space, and here the local space, and it does only care about the z-axis. And since this bone, well, this bone is not vertical, but it doesn't matter because here is its y-axis, and this bone it's the z-axis which matters. So would that make any sense? Owner workspace, let's see. Now this is not working. Okay, of course, the head and the tail off in the middle. This seems to be, here it doesn't seem to be working as I wanted. Why the inverse? The inverse doesn't. Okay, does it go up? Not, if it does, not as I would like to, so not enough. But this is interesting. So what I thought that I would be doing here is that the target, the gizmo for the target, it will be considered as if it were that one. So if it were, it would be as if this bone, the reference of this bone actually uses this gizmo. even though it is tilted in diagonally. So this is what local space owner orientation and owner local space. So it used the z-axis of this bone, but from this gizmo, and to make change on the z-axis of this bone on its own gizmo. So it's that's that. Yeah. So let's see if I go to the tail. What does it make any? No, this is bad idea, because then, well, this doesn't seem to change much. Head tail of which bone? Of course, that one. Well, all this, the copy location doesn't seem to really make anything very productive, right? It doesn't change anything actually that is actually relevant. So it's not a good method, but perhaps, but with all these inverse things, now you see this is very bad. Okay, so no copy location. I'm starting to run out of ideas. I need to think, and this takes time. But well, this is already interesting. Okay. What I would like to have here is that, does this bone need to be so far away actually? Let's try to, oh yes, the parenting, exactly. So here, see, if this bone was up, it would have better conditions for the rig, but it doesn't go up enough. Yeah, so this is one problem. So the tutorial perhaps doesn't address it, doesn't have the same problematics that I have here. Or maybe this bone is just starting too low, right? It's still not good. I need to, yeah, it's let's continue. Does this has got bone constraint? No and no. So let's try to parent this also to this one. Ah, here there is something interesting. This is dangerous because, yeah, these bones are parented to this, which are parented to the deformed bone. This could cause some dependency loops. So this is kind of dangerous. Let's do differently. Let's parent this to the hips bone, and then I'll copy location to this. That will be better. So let's see. The hips bone is hidden, so I'll just master hips. Okay, so it's already done. So is there any risk that this bone? No, I think there's no risk. So that's just okay. So I was wrong. This was already part of the control or main master hips bone. So this is fine. I will lock its transforms. Well, not the scaling, right? Because if I lock the scaling, no, okay, it's fine. I just it scales on its own, not because, but I can't manually scale it, so that's okay. Provide it doesn't affect the stretch to bone constraint, that's fine. So I've parent that one too, and in this sense, what's happening now? If we see the posing, things are working until this point. So why this gets so far away to the left side? Yeah, why they are spread apart like that? Does it have anything to do with some what happens if I rotate this bone on the y-axis? Okay, they rotate all together, so and the leg mesh is rotating because of course not because of the bone itself, but because it affects this. Alright, so what's happening is that this bone is rotating, and let's see, it's rolling too much, that's it. Alright, that's interesting. So it is stretched to bone constraint, but we would like to have it kinda locked there, so that should be a good reason to use the dump track or lock track. Well, let's see, lock track. Not sure if that will be any relevant, if it's better or not, but here we want to, let's see which is the bone that matters. Yeah, again the shin bone, so tail of the shin. Alright, and then I want to have the track axis Y, locket track Z. Is this correct? And then we could, okay, let's align with the thigh bone then. Yeah, something like that. So let's do this alignment instead. So let's see. Okay, this behavior still happens. I'm not sure if it's about the keyframes, but I can test this if I just yeah, maybe something about the keyframing, the old keyframing is doing this, because here, as we see, it's not too bad. It looks like they have low motion. They don't follow very, they have some delay. That's what it. Let's attempt the thing about the targets, right? So what I do is that I'll just swap this one to the other. So this means that now this controls both and this one does nothing. And so yeah, this one has no use anymore unless there are some, no, I think there are, Yeah, there are some other bones there, but it doesn't matter now. Let's see. No, I cannot move this one. Oh, actually this could be an interesting controller, right? Yeah, why not? Let's do this. This is kind of fun. So... Sorry. Humidity in this place. So here we got copy rotation, local space, and local space. Yes, and oh, this does not. It should be a transformation bone constraint, so it doesn't. It's not the solution here, whatever. So we don't matter about. Doesn't matter. Okay, so with the single, let's forget about this one. Right, the single one seems to be doing a good job. It gets easily unaligned, but yeah, this is working. So this is not the entire setup. This is a variation, incomplete variation from that tutorial, but the results are solid, pretty solid, and I'm having much easier life now than ever before with those things, I guess. At least since I've made the double IK. So I don't think I need to tweak anything else. This could be completed already, but there is something I would like to do. Yes, this perhaps something for this, but no, it's more about the way the pole target gets moved sideways. This is a bit annoying. So first, I don't like very much this aspect of stretching ball sphere, right? Wired sphere, it's annoying. So I do not think, because it is parented, the advantage of it being parented is that it suffers from the rotation. And this is very good if we want to simplify stuff. Okay, I'll just change its we could mimic the parenting with why not? Child of bone constraint. Okay. Let's instead parent it to the control, to the root. So let's see, this to the root, and then we go here and we try. Okay, we need back our rig. Then I get Let's see, this set child of bone constraint. Okay, let's see if it does the same things. Alright, same things. Is it movable? Yes, it is posable. Then what I wanted to do here is that here we can tweak the scaling. So this means that now it won't be affected anymore. So I can keep this shape and it won't be deforming. Great. So I have a lot of stuff here that I don't need anymore, fortunately. This was contraptions I was doing before, and I think I can just, for this project at least, delete these reference bones here. Yeah, this is symmetric, so it will delete both sides. Yeah, I can get rid of all this thanks to all this simplification. Yes. And here you see I have this setup I'll have to revise. So what was the strategy? Yes, I had to create this reference bone. Yes, I could do the same here, but since this is working, I won't do this. Is not the main purpose of this, so I'll be attention not to mix content, right? Wow, no, too much stuff. Okay, I need the selection sets for this, so let's get our, where is the, I think I've moved the controller. Yeah, this, no, okay, so this go to mechanic. Then and yes, the colors, which are the colors for these. There are some other, there's an extra bone here. Okay, so this is not symmetrized properly. Now it is, and I need to, okay, this won't be required. I want to change these colors. I would like to have another set of colors, but whatever. So okay, so the mechanical bones, I just want to have these ones showing. Then for the depth, I need, yeah, sorry, this is getting too confusing even for me. Okay, I have, it's because I forgot to make to prepare a selection set for, did I? Oh, I see, I've deleted. No, this is disastrous. Go back. No, I I deleted some. Maybe I'll have to back up some blend file here. I hope that still exists. Backup. Let's see. Okay, yes, accidentally I've deleted that bone, so yeah, so lots of things to do again, but fortunately this time yeah, because it's too thin. That's why I mistook it for the others, so let's change this. Let's delete this, then this thing goes up. Yeah, somewhere like here. Then let's see, does it got some? No, it doesn't get the lock track, so since we're here, also delete that. And here let's get the lock track, so this is to the tail. No, it's here also. And Z lock track, alright, but then this is aligned with the bone roll with that one, and this, instead of being parented to, it's parented to the root bone, which is not this one. So here, where is the knee? Here, so get parent here, and then what it gets is a child of bone constraint to here, and then it doesn't get scale. All the rest it would be fine. Something is lacking. Yeah, what's wrong here? Oh, of course, because I need to reassign this knee pole target. Okay, and so now let's see. Okay, this is next pro bone, not required. Is this parented to the hips? Yes, it is. Then their color, let me save here, at least this time. Bone groups, mechanical. Okay, then let's move them to that layer. Then let's make sure I get at least, yes, I need some symmetrizing. Otherwise, yes, something about the rig which I do not know what is it, is not, it's probably some bone constraint that exists only on one side, and I'm not sure what is it right now. So let's see, but they're fixing this thing, right? So what is happening here? This looks like I'm not having the results that I would like to have, that I was having previously. So okay, this is fine. Maybe this needs to go further. All right. Just checking slowly, right? Otherwise you can just pick both of them. Okay, so that is happening. Yes, it is still getting very far away. So what I could do is to change perhaps it's not rotation. This yeah, it doesn't need to. What? What rotation has to do with all the rest? Clear inverse. Oh, of course, this I needed to also delete that. Okay, let's see now. Okay, not too bad. But it's too far away. Maybe is the set why it is so why it goes so far. Set inverse. Well, this doesn't make much sense to me, but okay, so the scale, the rotation makes it goes crazy, like it's following the rotation of this bone, which is apparent like that. It would be, and what about the location? Well, the location, yes, okay, the location is fundamental. So what I need, what I was interesting to do is copy only the Z location. Let's see what's happened. Z location. So of course it's not good enough. Then let's see. Clear inverse. What's happened in this case? Does it bring any advantage? No, because here this position doesn't, it's not favorable. So clear inverse, let's get all these things back. Yeah, so it needs to have let's see what we can find ways to improve that. I'm thinking this mesh is suffering. No, this is the bolt target thing. Okay, there is the unaligned thing, but currently I'm not addressing this. I'm just addressing the positioning. So set inverse should be better. Is that it? Yes, but it's not being enough. What about the yeah, so for some reason this is not working. Oh, the influence, of course. I forgot the influence. I've just got an idea here. What if I kept the what if I kept some of these, all of these, but then as I as the x-axis. Okay, and then I get this bone here, the master one, control the copy only the location for the x-axis. I don't know if it would be. So what happens now is that the x-axis is controlled by this, but I'm not sure if this will solve all problems, because then we have some limitation on the position here. Yes, so this wouldn't be good enough, but it helps at least on some things, but I think this will be problematic. Okay, so let's try something else. Let's approach this. Clear inverse, does it help anyhow? Don't remember. Yeah, this seems to work better, but maybe it's just because of the distance, right? If I have set inverse, then I just have to make the bone further away, and then let's see. No, actually it seems that it's easier to get it work better if we get the clear inverse thing. Okay, so I have the aligning problem still, and the problem is that precisely this bone is the one supposed to make that. Oh, but look what that does. The rest pose for that bone with this clear inverse gets here. It's really not interesting. Oh, it's inverse, of course, so that's one thing. Okay, so we'll have to do it differently then. I need to find the best positioning for this. Okay, let's symmetrize already. Yeah, this is pretty weird, but let's see. Why is this rotated? It looks like it has some dependency that I'm missing. Oh, by the way, this has got some old stuff here that is not working. What about this? Shrink wrap, this is for the floor. And limit distance is disabled. Okay. So, yes, I'm taking too long, of course. This is experimental, so I don't have yet Yes, the fact is that this is much better than what I had. A lot better. I simplified a lot the rig, and there's only this problem that is that I should check the tutorial to see how this is addressed, because now I'm a bit out of ideas. Because this is the bone that we want to align. First of all, it shouldn't need to follow, right? Something. It should be already moving in alignment, but it is, as we pose here, things are getting not very interesting, right? Maybe if it that idea of the problem with the child of bone constraints is that it gets too much. Yeah, that's it. It gets too much stuff, right? From the it's hard to, it's not analyzed. So we need, what could be interesting here is that I keep those rotations, but I just want the Z thing, and then it doesn't help that much. So this is another thing why this is often complicated. I don't even know why this all is happening. Is this XY axis from, yeah, so I'm tempted really to get back to the parenting setup, because it seemed to be much simpler and give better results, even though there is the form. Yeah, so maybe this is smarter. Yeah, and then, although there is this parenting, okay, there is this what I could do now is perhaps make this bone have get some influence from, yeah, so for example, let's not use child off, let's let it be guided by this and this. It's giving me some idea. Like if I created like another link, something like that. Yeah, it's a bit crazy, but maybe it could work. Like if I have from this spot towards this spot, I create something like mech, knee, pole, orienter, whatever, left. And then I get this parented similar to the hips bone. Then let's make these bones very well. I'll do that later. I want to do that with all the other ones, but they are symmetrized. It should be automatic. Alright, so here this color, yes, this should be automatic for the other side. Let's see, that's true. Then of course it doesn't, this is something I need to check here. Of course this I was missing. As I move this up, do does that. Okay, follows the. Okay, so that is okay, but that one is not okay. It doesn't move, right? So what I need to do about this is to, yeah, and I should really make this selection set before it's too late. So here, so I need this and this, and these ones. Okay, let's finally do this selection set before it's too late. So here, let's create a new one, test2, and assign. Right, finally. Then, because I have this selection set here, I'm gonna make a horizontal split. This will be another only for the selection set. Simple strategy. Then here, let's go about the bone constraints. All right, finally. That now let's see what I can. All right, so my idea was to use this as another reference. But for this, I will have to give this, it will not be exact, but it will be precise. So what I'll do is I get here something like copy location on the head. Okay, word space, that's fine. Here we go. And then for this one, same thing, but similar thing, right? Wait, it's not copy location, it's what should it's some sort of tracking. So stretch 2, yes, why not? Stretch 2 once again, and then yes, it could be the tail, the head. Reset this, and that's it. Let's see now. Okay, so here is this referencing bone. So as I move this, I could have the bone follow, like there's something about this orientation that interests me. So the bone roll, I could do something like that. All right, but it's not clear what should affect how this bone, the pole target, will relate to this. But we'll find out some way. So it's already parented to that, and now I want it to kind of follow in the middle, or at least the reference of the middle. It will. This is the case where it could share a child of bone constraint with that one. Let's try it out. I'm not sure if that will work, but yeah, there's another problem, is that this bone, it doesn't roll. The roll of this bone might be important. I do not know how it behaves. Yes, it doesn't. It doesn't have any roll, so this can be complicated to do what I was looking for. Yeah, maybe it won't work because there is no row reference. There is this column, right? But it doesn't tell to do something more radical like this. Where's the front of that, right? But so the child of bone constraint won't be helpful, because unless I'm starting to get an idea, but this is it's probably, yeah, the bizarre thing is that yeah, there's the dependency loop tips. This thing is probably a bad idea because it's too much to set up. I'm trying to mimic what would be a good shin limb orientation with this mechanical bone, but this is ridiculous because the idea is that this bone should already be giving that orientation properly in an automatic way. So doing this is like I don't think it will be a good idea. So let's take it off. So the problem now is that if I want to look at the tutorial, you won't be able to see it because the sharing, let's see if I can swap this. Can I swap this? Yes. Let's see the tutorial methods to automate. Okay, so good to know I can switch the visualization.
What you might run into right here now.
Okay, so this is level pixel levels tutorial.
And I'm just going to go to edit mode. I'm going to actually go to X-ray as well.
Okay, so here's the bone that connects. He made two bones to give this input here.
There's other ways to do that.
I did just a single bone, so I economized, but then
I prefer to do it this way. Scale this down.
Okay, then he got that position in the middle.
Here. I can do Shift D again, and I'm just going to turn on my snapping tool here. Make sure it's on the vertex, and just snap this to the foot. We're almost done here. We've got to do a couple more things. This controller here and this controller here that we added. Let's actually shift click on the hip and do Control P, keep offset. And this controller here, I'm going to select on the foot, do Control P, keep offset.
Okay, this is the hips bone on the top, and that is the I key control bone. So not a big deal here. 3 bones, reference bones he's using. 1, 2, 3.
I'm just going to show you what we have if we go back to pose mode. So now I have this moving with the foot, and I have this moving with the hip. I want this bone to always be halfway in between these. Now let's tell you why I want it. I'm going to set this below this forms down here. You'll see that now it's moved back to its original position. That's why I put my cursor there, to find that midpoint between these two.
Okay, so far I got this set up already.
Hip and foot joints.
Where's the parent?
Now watch what happens when I move the foot. See how that's always staying halfway in between?
Okay,
I
have sort of
that means that I can now parent my pole to that. So I'll click on the pole vector, I'll shift click on this middle joint here, I'll go to edit mode, and I'll do Control P, keep
because
off.
currently it seems to be parented to the I key. Alright.
Now when I move this, it's always keeping that pole vector halfway between that bone. And I still get the rotation of the foot because of that copy transform. I'm going to add one more.
Okay, so what we have here,
that pole vector halfway between. That means that I can now parent my pole to that. So I'll click on the pole vector, I'll shift click on this middle joint here, I'll go to edit mode, and I'll do Control P, keep offset. When I move this, it's always keeping that pull vector
I'm curious about the lateral
halfway
motion.
between that bone.
Okay, this thing.
And
So as he rotates the master, of course in this case he has got just one I key bone constraint, so
I still get the rotation of the foot because
this is what I'm lacking, this feature. So why this is happening? Let's see if, yeah, because this thing rotates
between that bone, and
okay.
I still get the rotation of the foot.
This whole column, for referencing it, it's rotating, it's tilting, right? It is, I would say, rolling.
Because of that copy transform.
Okay, so this I see now. The problem is what I have here does not roll at all. So, and since it is parented yet, yes, but the pole target is parented that, because this thing is not rolling, it has this locked track. So this is why perhaps the dumped track would have been better. So let me hide this and let's do the dumped track. It's the technique he used, but to do something else, right? I think, and in this case I need the dumped track to have the setup. So let's see why, and I can, okay, so let's see. No, it's still not helping. All right, track axis. Oh, this thing helps, but it's not. This doesn't make. Oh, and that is rotated by the pelvis, right? Alright, so maybe this should copy rotation of this on local space. Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't matter that, although yes, it should matter because it's about the rotation, but if it rotates here, it's already something, right? So dumped track is apparently not enough, so let's try something else. Let's try I could go a copy rotation, right? But let's try, where is the other track 2, which is usually not very precise. Target local space is this. Is this any useful? Target owner, nothing related to rotation here, so no, not this. And this, it does only with the, when it goes to the tail, it start to get something relevant. So no, this is not helpful here. Maybe it could be helpful on some other feature. Let's see. Yes, it has some other usefulness apparently, and this is the tutorial gives. I'm not sure it is good for this case. Look at this. While if I didn't have the dumped track, this wouldn't happen. So I think I am already satisfied on this feature here without the dumped track, because it is a step different, so doesn't matter those things. Let me save. What am I complaining about? This is mostly working fine. Oh, it is the lateral motion that I was unsatisfied with, because this thing doesn't roll. Okay, so let's do the more traditional thing. Let's do a copy rotation, and that would be local space, and only for the Y, and perhaps an invert. I don't know if the invert is required, but something very bad is happening here. Oh yes, it's the invert perhaps that we need. Let's see. Okay, it's doing something very bad there though, the positioning of this, but in this sense, yes, the roll is kind of helpful, even though it's a bit of... Okay, it's stretching. Why it loses the reference there? Maybe it needs to rotate first and then stretch. Yes, that's it. Alright, then as I rotate here, I can control. Yeah, that makes anatomical sense, even though certainly not that exaggerated, right? But it's a good move, right? A good thing to... Maybe I could also reduce the amount of this influence, right? Let's say. So this will be something slighter motion. So we're getting somewhere finally. But no, not... I think more than that. Maybe something like that. Maybe that feels better, maybe. So I'm not sure. It's a bit strange to control this stuff, so it's not bad to have to pose the pole target occasionally. I think it's a good control, right? But I know some rigs that can make it more intuitive, right? I just don't know how to make them, at least not yet. So I don't know if I'm using this thing, but yes, this sounds useful. It's a ZZ. Let's see if this is accurate. Yes, the whole bone is rolling, right? So that one, so that seems fine. It's just here that maybe we could think of, I don't know, local with its own orientation. Then it doesn't need to be invert. Maybe this gets a better controlling method. Yes, this feels like... I'm not sure, but this may be better. Okay, folks. After some radical struggle with that, this eventually ended up in a good state, right? So some improvement here, a huge improvement. So and so let's see, is this symmetrized? Stretch 2. I'm checking the things if they are symmetrized. Yes, apparently it's symmetrized. Let's reset this. Tail. I just stretch. Oh, it's the shin. Okay, and then that's the foot. Copy rotation of the foot, of course, because. But I could make, instead of the foot, the deaf foot. Let's see if it doesn't cause things to, yeah, it causes to break, because then there's dependency loop, so we can't do that. That is expected. And then master foot here. Alright, so we have some cool controllers here. It's not perfect, of course, there's no perfect rig. There are some issues that could be improved, but wow, I'm kinda satisfied with these upgrades, in the sense that, well, I could already be using this for 3D animation on that character, but of course I think I'd like to have more improvements. But considering all the things that are involved in this rig, which is somewhat experimental, this is kind of cool. Let's see, limit distance. What if I, yeah, this is for another there's another setup, but that it will block some possibility that I. Alright, that's it for the this new joint. Let's just watch this out. Let's see if there's anything else that I've been missing.
One thing I don't like is if I come over here, I don't like that this bone is still pointing down. That's not really ideal. I can fix this by rotating the foot, but
how far did he go? Yeah, kinda far, right? Let's see if I do that. I'm not sure, my controllers are different, but yeah, I don't have as much trouble apparently, but
really
then
ideal. I can fix this by rotating the foot, but I don't really want that to happen all the time.
This is why he has the damped
One more
track.
constraint. From this bone down here, I'm going to shift click on this one. I'm going to do Control Shift C, and I'm going to add a damped track. Now, you can see that foot is always halfway in between, and it's going to be very, very tough to flip this.
Yeah, this is kind of
a flip, but that would be a pretty extreme pose. But I can always rotate the foot out of that flip.
yeah, so that's very good. I don't think I can reproduce this with this rig. So if I go there very much, yeah, start to get the lateral issue. And yeah, so what I think I should be trying out is copy exactly what he did on a normal rig, then perhaps I try to adapt here on a parallel version, right? And then I compare, I see how I can adapt that thing here, because it's clear to me that dump track doesn't work because my setup is a bit different. So of course I understand the main concept of the dumped track is that for this particular case is that it would make that the parenting of the need doesn't depend on this one of this rotation to make to go down. It would go down automatically already because of the dumped track, because of the interactions that would exist between the parented bone to some referencing bone, and because the referencing bone is also constrained with the dumped track, so it will imply an additional rotation. So the user, the animator, the poser won't require to make this rotation to have the thing go down. But currently I don't even have this feature. I don't really know why, but I have other features, so whatever. And things that, well, I'm just realizing something as I get there. It looks like I get the inverse. The rotations got strangely inversed, or not exactly. It was just an impression. So let's see. Just making sure. Maybe it has something to do with that. No, this is clearly inversed. And we don't have... Okay, if I use this, an inverse, maybe this is the best setup for... Let's see. Yeah, don't ask me why this thing is so complicated. Yeah, I feel like this thing is better. Local space, local space. Alright, let's keep it that way. It doesn't seem to have issues there in the spatial. Yeah, what makes this I key difficult to control, and I don't think really there would be a ideal solution for that, but this gives me this substitutes I key F key switching, because then I can do these poses, right? And I have I key bone constraint and I have I key chains, but look, when and I think this is, even though we have the real problem here, one of them at least, is that some posing take double amount of time to make. However, we've got much more stability on specific poses, right? So this is kind of, maybe not stability, but control, right? Over precise control, even if it might take more time posing. And we don't have to deal with switching all the time, or which is not so terrible thing. Can be I don't know, I'm not familiar with this. I know I have even an add-on that here on certain rigs, it's where it is rig on the fly here. It has an I key F key switch, but I won't dare use here because it requires, it's very good feature, very powerful feature. Maybe I could show on another. Well, there's a tutorial that shows that, right? But then the problem is that the rig must be all FK, and so it will break the rig, and if the setup is not made for rig of the fly, rig on the fly add-on. It's for 3D animations. There are some features for games, I guess, but this is one of the best F key I key switch features that I've heard of. It's basically temporarily destroys the the F key bone and turns it into a I key or something like that, and vice versa. And then the magic of this, the cool thing of this, is that it automatically, because there is this destruction which is reversible, it doesn't create different pathways of keyframings of posing, so you don't have to fix the as we go from one switch to situation to another. It does it automatically. It merges the transforms, and so it does it automatically, so it's scripting, right? Alright, that's it, folks, but I'm not using here. Maybe I'll show it another time. Doesn't matter. The important thing is that on all this long time I was able to massively improve this this pole target automation, and even though not exactly the same setup, there was some okay adaptation, but there would be more work to do. See ya, folks, hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye. Wait, where is this? Okay. Yes, where is the